Hi, my name is Claire, and I made a temperature tracker. What inspired me to do this? So part of my app, it's a temperature tracker that that helps you keep track of your temperature if you're sick. This was inspired by when I had pneumonia, and it lasted for like 2 weeks, and my temperature was pretty high the whole time. And even with my dad being a doctor, it was still really scary. And I thought it would be great to have an app that helped people who maybe didn't have like a medical professional in their family to make sure that they don't get into a dangerously high temperature. So what you just heard was my foghorn alarm. I have it every minute now because the presentation's pretty short, but for my actual app, it would go off about every hour to make sure that you continue to take your temperature, even if you're kind of zoning or just kind of like in and out of sleep because you're sick. So that's one feature, and that'll probably go off, but I'll just X out of it. So you can enter information. I have my number in here because I have a Twilio account, and you can only have one number, but you can have a contact number for if you have a high temperature, and then a contact number if you have a dangerous temperature. And you can also change your name. So I'm going to change my name to Bob, because why not? So now my name's Bob. And so your alarm will go off, it'll tell you to take your temperature, and then if all goes well, it should, if I put in a high temperature, so like 103 to 104 is a high temperature, and above 104 is dangerous. So if I put in like 103.5, it will say you have a high temperature above 104 considered dangerous, so just kind of warning you that maybe you want to take medication, and we have alerted your contacts. And so I get in a text, because I'm my own emergency contact, which is not the best thing, but assuming you have a non-free Twilio account, then everything should work out. So that is one. Yep, there I got my Twilio. It says Bob has a high temperature of 103.5. So if you're Bob's friend and you're like, oh, I should go check his that's the alarm. And so, yeah, and there's also a similar alert for if you are in a dangerous temperature. It has a slightly different message, but same idea. And then I have data based on your temperature. So this is all data I've entered through my app over the last couple of days while making this and testing it. So it kind of gives you a general outline of your temperature. Some of them are a little crazy, as you might see, just because I was testing to make sure things worked. And so I have it for all the days. And then here I have kind of like aggregate data about things. So I have average temperature by day, so it can show if you're getting better or if you're getting worse. And I also have average temperature by time of day. And I added this in because when I was sick, my temperature would always spike around 6. And so it would have been good to know that there was a certain time of day that my temperature would spike because I would take medication. But so, and then at the bottom, I have time of day when temperature is high, so between 103 and 104. So kind of maybe if you're approaching one of those times, take some medication, and then times of day when the temperature is dangerous. So that's 2300. So yeah, that's my app. That's it.